أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Dear brothers and sisters in Iman, today is 6th of Shawwal and 29th of May. This is our first online weekly lecture after the month of Ramadan and after the khutbah of Eid al-Fitr. Inshallah, we will continue the series of our weekly online lectures every Friday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Today, in this very brief khutbah or the lecture, we will try to focus our discussion on just one point, and that is that, of course, month of Ramadan was a great blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it has departed. And now we are in the month of Shawwal. We, all of us as a community worldwide, we tried our best to improve ourselves in this month of Ramadan and enhance the levels of our piety and spirituality. And by the grace of Allah, I believe each one of us, every one of us, have gone to a higher degree and higher level of taqwa, piety and spirituality. And definitely we have improved ourselves and we feel the spirit of this blessed month of Ramadan. But now our question or our challenge is that how can we sustain and maintain this spirit of this blessed month? How can we sustain and maintain this achievement and this piety and this spirit of taqwa and this spirit of spirituality after the month of Ramadan? Because we all know that when this month enters in our community, it is as the spring has come in the nature. As we see outside, when the spring comes, everything gets green. We see in our gardens, in our backyards, in outside around, so everything gets green, and we enjoy those scenes and those sceneries in the nature, because the rain and this new climate and the new weather brings that pleasant change around us. Similarly, month of Ramadan is just like a spring in our spiritual life, in our religious life, in our community life, in our family life. We see a change, and a pleasant and a positive change during this month of Ramadan. All of a sudden we see that the masajid are crowded and masajid are full with the participants. We see the holy book, the Quran, is taken out from its covers and cases, and people start reading Quran. We listen those heavenly du'as and supplications every time in the sahar, like du'a sahar, or after prayers, Ya Aliyu, Ya Azim, Ya Ghafuru, Ya Rahim. Then we listen those beautiful du'as at the time of iftar. Later in the night, we listen other beautiful du'as. So this is a season of those heavenly du'as, du'a Abu Hamza, Thimali, du'a Sahar, and so many other du'as. People start organizing and offering the iftar dinners. Then we see all of a sudden that people become very charitable. They start giving their zakat, their khums, their sadaqah, their khairat, and they start reaching out to the needy in the family and in the neighborhood and in the community. So, similarly, people come and join namaz-e-jamaat, the congregational prayers in masajid. They become more regular with their prayers, and they try their best to come to the mosques to pray in the jamaat, or even if they are praying home, they try to pray on time with more attention, with more devotion, with more khudu and khushu, with more humility, with more spirituality. So their quality of the prayers gets improved and enhanced during this month of Ramadan. Similarly, we see the attendance in Friday prayer gets very high, and people who normally don't show up in the Friday prayer, but during the month of Ramadan, they make a special effort to come to masajid and pray Jumu'ah. And other than that, also we see people in their personal life, they become more conscious of morality and moral values. People become more careful when they talk to one another. They control their anger. They maintain more kind of spiritual behavior. They keep good control of their conversations and their tongue and their eyes and their ears. They try to keep their heart, their mind very clean and very neat, and they do all that because they know this is the holy month and this is the month of Ramadan, and they want to enjoy the spirituality and they want to maintain that spiritual kind of lifestyle in this month of Ramadan. But my brothers and sisters, if we look at our religion and the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or His messenger or His pure progeny, Ahlulbayt alayhimus salatu wassalam, we find that other than just fasting, whatever we do in month of Ramadan, we are supposed to do in every other month and in every other day, regardless it is a month of Ramadan or it is not month of Ramadan. Only that the wajib fasting for 30 days or 29 days, that is something that with the intention of Ramadan and with the intention as a mandatory fast, that is exclusive with the month of Ramadan. But other than that, all what we do in the month of Ramadan, that is not only for the month of Ramadan. We are supposed to do all those things what we do in the month of Ramadan, we are supposed to do it in any other month and every other month. We know our religion is not an annual religion. We know our religion is not a weekly religion. Our religion is a religion of every day. It is an everyday religion. 365 days religion. 7 days week religion. 24 hours. Every moment of our life we have to live according to the spirit and according to the codes of our religion, according to the teachings of our religion. Because Islam is a way of life. It is not a way of only month of Ramadan. It is a way of life. It is a code of life. It is a system of life which we have to follow in entire life and entire year instead of only for 1 month. Only difference what we see in month of Ramadan and in other months is that this month of Ramadan is designed as a training camp. It is a camp or a refresher course that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, knowing our nature, He has designed it that when this month comes, we get again some motivation, some reminders, some refreshing messages, and we get together and we start practicing as we do it in a camp or in a course. But then we should prepare ourselves, or this month and this course or this camp should prepare us from Ramadan to Ramadan. That this Ramadan should prepare us from this Ramadan until the next Ramadan. And when the next Ramadan comes again, inshallah, we go to the higher levels, and that Ramadan should prepare us for the next Ramadan. But unfortunately, as we all know, our tarbiyat is not done properly. We lacked those kind of communities. We lacked those kind of ulama and those kind of community leaders and those kind of religious institutions that who could train us with the proper spirit of our religion. We never had those kind of institutions or those kind of well-established communities. We lived and again no blame to our parents or our grandparents. They again lived in very poor times where religion was mazloom and the religious institutions were not strong enough and they were not organized enough to do the tarbiyat of communities. So we don't have that background, unfortunately. And then our popular culture is also not up to the standards, and it is not very much religious or spiritual. It's a kind of hodgepodge, kind of a kind of culture where we have every kind of we have taken things from so many other cultures and from so many other communities and other societies, and we don't know whether it is Eastern or it is Western, it is religious or it is non-religious, it is liberal, it is a strange kind of ma'joon and a strange kind of mixed culture. But if we had the proper religious training and proper religious culture, then my brothers and sisters, we would be very conscious, very mindful and very different individuals than normally as we are. So, because of that background, we have to now do our own tarbiyat. And many of us are doing our own tarbiyat by our own effort and by our own hands. People are in their 60s and 70s, and now they realize that they have to again do their own tarbiyat while they have grandchildren. And people have young children who are now in the age of marriage, but still now they have to train themselves and they have to do their own tarbiyat. So we have, because of our background, we have to do our own tarbiyat. We have to do the tarbiyat of our children and our grandchildren, and we have to also somehow make our own culture within our families and within our communities. And that is a job and that is a challenge which our generation has to deal with. In this very little time which I have, I will share with you a plan that how can we sustain or maintain this spirit of month of Ramadan. What should we do that we don't lose what we have achieved in this month of Ramadan? And instead actually we should build upon it, and we should continue growing in our spirit and in our spirituality. And then when we welcome the next month of Ramadan, inshallah, so we welcome it with higher spirit, with higher spirituality, and then as they say that we hit the ground running instead of just approaching it with low spirit or dead spirit and start again all over again. So please recite a loud salawat, and I share with you what I have here as a plan. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. My brothers and sisters, there is one concept which is very important when it comes to establish tarbiyat. There are certain things, and each one of those things are very important for training, for tarbiyat, for sustaining, and for maintaining the success or certain behaviors or certain routines or practices. But one of those things is called mudawama. Mudawama is Arabic word which means doing things on permanent basis, making certain routines, and then maintaining those routines. And whatever one decided to do, then one is doing on regular basis and never quits that practice or that routine. This is part of our religion. We have a hadith from Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam, where he says, Ahabbul a'mal ilallahi azza wa jalla ma dawama alayhi al-abd wa in qalla. Fifth Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam says, the most beloved action and deed in eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the fact that, or the thing which a servant of Allah or somebody, he puts in practice and he does that thing on a regular basis, permanently. Whatever one does as a good deed, it is a good deed, but one does it on a regular basis and permanently. That is the best action in eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa in qalla, even if it is little. It's a little thing, but you do it because it is good, it is amal salih, it is a good deed, and you do it no matter what, rain or shine. Whether you are home or you are abroad, you are outside. Whether you are healthy or you are sick. Whether you are enjoying good days or you are going down, but you maintain this no matter what. This is the best thing according to Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam, and basically he is narrating on behalf of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Then on the same lines, we have a hadith from his son, sixth Imam, Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salatu was-salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Where sixth Imam says, Man amila amalan min a'malil khair falyudim alayhi sanatan wala yaqta'hu dunaha. Sixth Imam is teaching a technique. Our Imma alayhi salatu wassalam were our guides. They were the Hujajullah. They were our instructors, and they were our training masters also. And they trained us, and they gave us those tips and those training techniques. So sixth Imam is giving a training technique. He says, anyone, man amila amalan min a'malil khair, anyone who has adopted a routine, or he has started doing an amal, an action which is a good action, and he has started doing it, then he says, فَلْيُدِمْ عَلَيْهِ sanatan. He must continuously doing that for 1 year. If you start a new habit, if you start a new routine, if you start something, doing something new, if you, sixth Imam says, then continuously do it for 1 year. Because when you will do it for 1 year, then it will become your routine. It will become, inshallah, your second nature. Then you will continuously keep doing it. So 1 month is not enough. 1 month is only a training. It is a training course. Many of us, we go in classes, we learn the basic skills, we learn the basic concepts. But even when we graduate, we have to come out and know, use that information, use those skills, use what we have learned, and this is how we become expert in those skills. Just by graduating, we don't become experts. We become experts when we put those things in our practice, and when we use those skills. And as we use those skills more and more and more, we get better understanding, and we get more control and hold on those things. So sixth Imam is teaching us that whenever you decided to do something good, and you adopted a good tradition, a good action, a good practice, then make a plan for 1 year and remain on the track. Never quit. Continuously keep doing it for 1 year, and when you will do that, then inshallah you will be comfortable. Wala yaqta'hu dunaha. And Imam is saying, don't cut it down, don't cut it off, don't abandon it, don't leave it before 1 year passes. Because by the 1 year, inshallah, you will become even firmer on that, and you will be doing it on regular basis. So there are other ahadith on that subject also, but I don't have time. Now, what is the plan? The plan, I have only 10 things, my brothers and sisters. Please note, these are 10 things which we have to do. And if we do these 10 things, then I'm sure that inshallah we are able to sustain and maintain the spirit and this spirituality. And those 10 things, number 1 is the fasting. Now, I'm not asking you, and nobody is asking you, that after month of Ramadan you continue fasting every day and every month. No, nobody is saying that. But for reasons, our deen has recommended some recommended fasts in every month. In every month, there are some fasts which are recommended, because fasting has a very close connection with piety, with spirituality. This fasting is one of the very special tools which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has designed to enhance our spirituality. We can't become that spiritual without fasting. That's why fasting was in every community, in every nation, and in every religion. So, there are certain fasts which are recommended every month, and we should maintain a routine. Now, what are those fasts? 3 fasts in every month. In Shawwal, Ziqada, Zilhajjah, Muharram, Safar, keep going on until the month of Sha'ban. At the minimum, it is recommended to fast 3 days in every month. And you can fast any of those 3 days of your choice, but there are certain days which are more recommended, and you get more sawab if you fast on those days. And those days are the first Thursday of every month, number 1, first Thursday of every month, then the last Thursday of every month, 2, and the first Wednesday after the 10th of every month. After the 10th of every month, the first Wednesday. So these are the 3 fasts which are highly recommended in the ahadith of Ahlulbayt alayhimu salatu wassalam. We should make sure that at least every month, the first Thursday, last Thursday, and the first Wednesday after the 10th of the month, we should fast. Then if you can do more, then there are 3 other fasts which are also very much recommended. And if you fast those 3 fasts, then you are fasting for 6 days every month. And my brothers and sisters, if we can fast 30 days regularly, if we can fast for 29 days, fasting 3 days or fasting those 6 days is not a big deal. What are those 3 days? In every month, 13th, 14th, and 15th of Ramadan, for month. 13th, 14th, and 15th of every month, known as Ayyamul Bid. So, that is number 1. If we want to maintain the spirit of fasting, and if we want to maintain and sustain the spirituality, number 1, we should fast at least 3 days every month, and if we can fast 6 days, Nurun ala Nur. Number 2, my brothers and sisters, prayer, salat, that is the foundation of our religion, and that is the foundation of our spirituality. We cannot become spiritual, and we cannot develop the true spirituality by abandoning the prayer or by taking the prayer lightly. Matter of fact, prayer is the foundation, it is the fountainhead, it is the pillar, and you cannot build anything without foundation. So, prayer, again, it's a whole subject. I don't have time to go in the detail. What is important in the prayer, it is that it should be done with care, meaning on time, on its prime time, and with the more attention, by putting our heart in it, by khudu, khushu, humility. And Quran uses the word that yuhafidun, and Quran uses the word that they are the people who are da'imun, meaning people who are regular in their prayers. They don't do prayers on and off. They are da'imun. Then they are the people who are very much conscious about their prayers. Their actually daily schedule and every activity is made around the times of prayers. When they make their schedule, when they make their commitments, when they make their programs, when they invite people, when they go to other people, when they travel, when they do anything, so first they see that it is their, meaning that it is not going to affect their prayer. So they keep their prayers as their first priority, and they don't want to let any of their other activities hinder this their first priority as long as it is possible. So they do their prayer on regular basis, they do it on time. If they can do it in masjid and in jamaat, then they go and do that. Otherwise, they do it with full attention on regular basis, on time, and they enjoy their prayers. Number 3, and that is also very much connected with spirituality, that is charity. Charity purifies our heart. It connects us with the spirituality. We cannot become again spiritual if we are not charitable. That is why zakat, khums, sadaqah, khairat, it shouldn't be an annual case. Yes, zakat and khums on the wajib zakat and khums are annual. But the charity, sadaqah, khairat and haqqe ma'loom, they should be something which one should continue doing it on daily basis or weekly basis or monthly basis. Because this charity purifies our deen, our madhab, our spirit, and it enhances our spirituality. Number 4, my brothers and sisters, if we look at the du'as which we recite in the month of Ramadan, there is a special mention of and dua of asking Allah to give us tawfiq for Hajj this year and every year. Hajj and Umrah and Ziyarat also enhance our spirituality. They are the best practices to strengthen and to enhance and improve our spirituality and our connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to His Rasul and to the A'imma Ahlulbayt alayhimu salatu wassalam. So if you can afford, if you have time, if you can afford, and if you are in that kind of health, then try to go for Hajj as often as you can, go for Umrah as often as you can, and go for the ziyarat of A'imma Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wasalam as often as you can. Number 5, my brothers and sisters, Quran, it is the, again, fountainhead for the spirit, for Iman, for Taqwa, for our belief, for our spirituality. We cannot become spiritual individuals if we abandon Quran. So we should bring Quran in our daily life. Quran should be with us, and we should recite Quran every day. Every day we should recite Quran. We should try to know Quran by meanings. We should learn the translation. We should learn some tafsir. We should increase ourselves about our knowledge of Quran. Number 6, Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wassalam. Those are our guides, as Quran is our guide. Both are Quran. One is Samit, one is Natiq. But both are Quran and both are equally important. We cannot take on the caste of other. We cannot take Quran and abandon Ahlul Bayt, and we cannot take Ahlul Bayt and abandon Quran. No, both of them, they go hand in hand. And we need to develop again, we need to bring Ahlul Bayt, their teachings, their memories, their life, their struggle, their sacrifices, also in our daily life. We should increase in love and ma'rifat, in recognition and in muhabbat and mawaddat of Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wassalam. And we should have a closer contact, a closer relationship with Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wassalam and Quran. Number 7, my brothers and sisters, we should try to engage ourselves with our family, with our extended family, with our community in such a way as Islam wants us to engage in. And Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wassalam wanted from us to engage with our family, with our extended family and with our community. We cannot become again spiritual if we abandon our immediate family, no matter how many prayers we pray and how much Quran we recite and how much Hajj and Umrah we do. No, family again is very important, and we cannot take one thing on the cost of other. So we need to put our family also as a high priority, and then it's not only the immediate family, our extended family is also highly emphasized in Quran and in Hadith, and Ahlulbayt alayhimu salatu wassalam highly emphasize that. So it is family, it is extended family, and similarly community. Community is again, Islam is a religion of community. It establishes ummah. It's a religion of ummah, and it wants you to engage in society, engage in community, and become part of community and play your role in community. And again, when in all these relations with family, with extended family or community or society at large, we should follow the teachings and the teachings of Quran and Ahlul Bayt, that how should we engage with them, how should we deal with them, how should we interact with them. That should be according to the proper teachings of Islam, not the way how my father was used to deal with his family and how he was used to treat his wife, or how my uncles and my other relatives were used to deal with their family or their extended family, or how my father was used to deal with community or the other people. No, we don't have to look to our fathers and mothers and those people, because we discussed before, many of them were not even trained properly. We have to look at the examples, the perfect examples of Ahlul Bayt and Anbiya and their examples. And we should treat our family as Prophet was used to treat his family. We should treat our family as our Imams were used to treat our family. We should treat our community as Prophet and Imams were used to treat their community. That is the point what I am trying to make. Number 8, my brothers and sisters, very quickly I am trying to finish it. The Friday prayer. Friday prayer has a vital role in establishing the spirituality in individuals, because it is a weekly reminder. It brings inspiration. We have tons of ahadith that those who don't pray the Friday prayer and they miss the Friday prayer 3 consecutive Fridays, then they don't mean that their spirit dies down. They lose the spirituality. So I'm avoiding the word which is used in riwayat. Riwayat are actually saying nifaq, the hypocrisy. We have riwayat of Ahlul Bayt even, that the stamp of hypocrisy is put on the heart of someone who abandons the Friday prayer for 3 times without any justified excuse. So Friday prayer is very important, and people should make a special effort to participate in Friday prayer to maintain their spirituality and their spirit. Number 9, my brothers and sisters, we should look at the moral values of Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wassalam and Quran. Quran teaches us those manners, those adab, values, akhlaq, and then Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wassalam. We are blessed with the best family in this whole world. From Adam until the day of Qiyamah, they lived a life of morality and nobility, and they left a legacy behind them. And we have those things. We have those du'as and their khutbahs and their writings in Nahjul Balagha, in Sahifa Sajjadiyya, in Usul Kafi, and in other books. So we should try to take those moral values of Ahlulbayt alayhimus salatu wassalam and try to practice those moral values, and we shouldn't be content only with prayer and fasting and hajj and ziyarat. We should do all those things because those are the pillars and foundation, but then you need windows, you need, you know that in the building you need so many other, you need closets, you need in building roof, you need, building is not only the foundation or pillars. In building you need so many other things, and that makes the building complete. So these moral values, being truthful, being punctual, being on time, being clean, being honest, sharing, caring, and being honest, being dutiful, all those things are as important as those other things are important. And on top of that, my brothers and sisters, something which is very important for spirituality, that is the good control of our conversation and our tongue. We have to control our eyes, we have to control our ears, we have to control our heart, our mind, our soul, our spirit. But more than anything else, which puts us in trouble and which ruins actually every other organ of the body and their role, that is tongue. Ayatollah Makarim Shirazi, in one of his very beautiful works, he writes and he mentions that there are almost 30 sins in daily life which we commit only with our tongue. We don't commit 30 sins with our eyes. We don't commit 30 sins with our ears. We don't commit even those 30 sins with our hands or with our feet. But we commit 30 sins just with our tongue. So a good control of our tongue makes sure that we maintain the spirituality. And that was number 9. Number 10 and the final one, my brothers and sisters, we must make sure that we are increasing in our knowledge and in our understanding of our religion. Because religion is not only just a blind practice. You don't enjoy religion if you don't know it, if you don't know the rationality, if you don't know the reasoning behind, if you don't know the connection of different values or different practices, or why something is halal, why something is haram, or until you have more in-depth knowledge of deen. And that is why two people are praying, but the prayer of alim and prayer of jahil are totally two different prayers. Both are reciting Quran, but one is only reading the Arabic and not understanding anything, and one understand what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and the one who understands more and better, so of course he is enjoying recitation of Quran more. So what we need to do if we want to have the higher degree and the higher level of taqwa and spirit and spirituality, and if we want to get into the closer relations with Allah and A'imma and Anbiya alayhimu salatu wassalam, then we need to increase in knowledge. We need to make sure that we have good collections of books, we have good contacts with those ulama that who can become good guides and good leaders, who can lead us to Allah, who can guide us to Allah and Ahlulbayt alayhimu salatu wassalam. And we should also try to become friends with such community members that who are spiritual, who are knowledgeable, who are more conscious, who can lead us, who can guide us, who can inspire us. And that is why I conclude this with the hadith of Imam Zainul Abidin Ali ibn al-Husayn alayhim as-salatu was-salam, where he says, Majalisus Salihin da'iyatun ila salah. He say those gatherings of righteous people, gatherings of good people, gatherings of those people who are salih, who are neek, who are parhizgar, who are pious, sitting with them, hanging around with them, it invites you automatically toward good. They inspire you and they lead you toward the goodness and the piety. So we should try to have some good contacts with some knowledgeable people. You should have that one-on-one relationship with ulama, with scholars, with knowledgeable members of community. When you make a circle of your friends, so have the collections of books, resources, but then have these inspirational individuals also, and try to hang around more and on more regular basis with those individuals, with those people that who can keep your spirit high, who can keep you leading and guiding toward the core teachings of Islam, who can keep you connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with Anbiya, with Awliya, with Ahlulbayt, with Quran, and with these beautiful teachings of Deen and Madhab. So this is the plan, my brothers and sisters. I hope it will help, and if we can all work together and work on this agenda and this plan, which is the 10-item plan, and share it with your family members, share it with your friends, and try to help each other to remain focused and keep this plan and this program in practice and never quit it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide our hearts, our minds, and He gives us the ability that we can stick with this plan, and we can keep growing, inshallah, in our iman, in our marifat, in our love and muhabbat of Anbiya, Awliya, and Ahlulbayt alayhimus salatu wassalam. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq, where we can become those people that Ahlulbayt alayhimus salatu wassalam, when they look at them, they are pleased, and the Imam of our age is pleased that he has such Shias and such followers in his community. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.